While this week's trial did answer a lot of questions, it didn't answer everything, and the Richmond police chief indicates that there's still more that we're going to learn because Amari Pollard is not the only person who will be on trial in connection to this shooting.
I've been to hundreds of murder scenes in my career. I've never been to a scene like that.
25 years in law enforcement couldn't have prepared Richmond's police chief Rick Edwards for what he'd witness on June 6th.
I've never seen blood-stained gowns, graduation gowns. I've never seen the sheer amount of women's shoes. And what that told me was how many women ran for their lives and their shoes came off during that fearful run.
8 months later, and we have a clearer picture of what happened outside Huguenot High School's graduation. New information revealed this week in court shows Amari Pollard shot and killed unarmed graduate Sean Jackson in the back while he was walking away in Monroe Park. Pollard's attorneys claimed that Pollard acted in self-defense while fearing for his life due to threats from Jackson and his friends, but a judge ruled that there wasn't enough evidence for them to argue that. So Pollard ultimately pled guilty to first-degree murder.
I think the Commonwealth Attorney and the Major Crimes Division of the Richmond Police Department did a fantastic job.
Edwards, proud of his department for bringing justice to Jackson's family and acknowledging that this was a complex case to work, relying on video that wasn't easy to follow.
To try to make sense of the mosaic of all the cameras, because there was no one shot that showed how this all played out. We had to piece it together painstakingly over the course of weeks before we could truly understand it.
This trial focused on one suspect who killed one victim, but we know there were other shooters that day and 6 more victims, including Jackson's stepfather, Renzo Smith, who also died. Do you know who killed Renzo Smith?
I think that will come out in some of these future trials.
We've only recently learned of 2 other suspects arrested in this case. They were both juveniles, charged with the reckless handling of a firearm. Now, those are misdemeanor charges, not a murder charge. Is there any reason why that's kind of a lesser charge?
Well, there's all kinds of legal theories as to why someone can be charged with a misdemeanor as opposed to, say, felony murder. We analyze the data and present it to the Commonwealth Attorney. It's their job to determine what charges are most appropriate. And
when we asked Commonwealth's Attorney Colette McKeechin about that,
there are still ongoing investigations, and I just don't want to make any further comment about those situations.
Looking back, Edwards says it's easy to second-guess things. For example, Pollard testified not seeing any RPD officers leading up to the shooting, and an investigation into Richmond Public Schools showed there were only 5 police officers securing the outside of the venue. Do you think that you had enough security out there, and is there anything that you would have done differently?
I'm thankful that we had not only those officers that were at the venue itself, we also had 7 officers along Belvedere Street, our traffic division, and I think you could make that argument that on the way to this event, if Amari Pollard had been stopped with that gun and had been charged with it, then this series of events never occurs.
Also in hindsight, when Jackson's mother warned Richmond Public Schools that students shot up their home and literally tried to kill him, an investigation found that RPS failed to conduct a threat assessment despite being a mandated reporter. I'm assuming if the school had passed that information along to you, it would have initiated some type of threat assessment on y'all's end.
Yes.
Edwards hopes this tragedy sends a message that public safety is everyone's responsibility.
Talk to your kids, talk about conflict resolution before it escalates to this. This should have been a fist fight. That's what it should have been. But it escalated into gunfire and people lost their lives. And Edwards confirms that at this point, police are not looking for any more suspects in this case. Here at Monroe Park, I'm Tyler Lane, CBS 6 News.